Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win. I'm talking about this fan. Or you find a way to lose. Chance of a lifetime for Tyrell Herndon. Too Real is the nickname he goes by. Now, let me tell you this. Make sure you like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Leave that donation for that fried rice and chicken wings. And more importantly, become a member to the channel. Now, look, man. For those of you who are saying, man, who is Tyrell Herndon? Well, he's a guy who was a football player who was athletic. Deontay played basketball. He was athletic. And at some point, he decided to be great in boxing. And he's been on that mission ever since. Now, let me show you something about Tyrell. For those of you who don't know who he is, okay? Let's add this right here so y'all can see exactly who we're talking about, all right? This is Tyrell Anthony Herndon. 24 wins, 15 of those wins by knockout. He has 5 losses. 4 of those losses are by KO. He has a 62% KO ratio. He stands at 6'3", 6'4", so he's not much shorter than Wilder, who's on record for being about 6'6" to 6'7". And he's fighting right here out of San Antonio, Texas, man. Now, the thing is, he's been grinding at this for a while, man. He debuted in 2015. It's 2025, so he's been going at this just about 10 years. And when you look at his record, when you look at the fights he's had, right, you can see he has a fight with Deontay coming up. But when you look at some of these other names, you're probably not going to recognize Rudy Silva, Esmiri Coleman, Daniel Gonzalez. But Richard Torres, you guys should recognize that name. He's a silver medalist from the Olympics. Signed with ESPN, and Torres has just been out here, man, tearing everybody out the frame. So he ended up taking a loss to him. But just going back and looking at across his career, some of the names, the bottom line is when you get a guy who turns to the sport a bit later in life and he goes on to have some success, that tells you that there's something special about him. But just how special is Tyrell Herndon? Now, my thing is this. I truly believe he understands that no one is giving him a chance to win against Deontay Wilder. And you can understand. Deontay Wilder carried that WBC strap for, 10 years? He had, hold on a second. Let me just show you, okay? Let's just show you. I'm pulling it up right now. Let's just look at Deontay Wilder's stuff. Deontay Wilder. And we'll just go over it, right? Because this is a pretty big deal what's going on here with Tyrell. But this is what he's up against, okay? This is Deontay Wilder. 43 wins, 42 KOs, 4 losses, 3 by KO. 97% KO ratios. Look here, it says he's 6'6", 83-inch reach, okay? Wilder has a 3-inch reach advantage on Herndon, which is not that much, but, it could matter. But I think Herndon's going to have some opportunities, and we'll talk about that. But this is why so many people have Tyrell Herndon as a big-time underdog. We could just stop right here. We'll just look at the name, Helenius Parker Zhang. You go down before that, you see Fury's name, Luis Ortiz, Brazil, Fury again, Luis Ortiz, Tavern, Gerald Washington, Areola. We know all of those names. All of those guys could fight. And Wilder got in the ring with them, put the bing-bings on everyone except for Fury, except for Parker, except for Zhang. Okay? That's why Herndon's the underdog. But let me just tell you this. This Deontay Wilder right here, this guy, this 97% KO ratio, this knockout artist, he ain't the same, people. He's not the same. And this gives Tyrell Herndon a huge opportunity and should give him a big-time confidence boost to get in that ring with Deontay Wilder, put his foot on the gas, and let his hands go from the first second of the first round to the last second of the last round. Now, I know some of y'all are still saying, oh, no, that's a mistake. Wilder's got the big mega boom right hand. If Herndon steps to him, he's going to walk into something. Hold your horses and let's not take it to the stupid. Wilder is not the same fighter. Does he still have power in the right hand? I'm sure. The power doesn't go anywhere. But he wasn't able to land it on Parker. He definitely wasn't able to land it on Zhang. I think he hit Zhang with one shot, and his corner was shot, and he's hurt. Jump on him, and then Zhang tranquilized him. But the thing is this for Tyrell. Does he have the power? And does he have the timing? And does he have the instinctive reflexes to win Wilder? Wilder telegraphs his shots. When Wilder's telegraphing that he's about to throw that right hand, for Tyrell to counter, to get out the way, make him pay. And that's what Tyrell, in my opinion, needs to really be looking at here. One, make sure he's in the best condition he could possibly get in. Because Wilder will slow down and get tired if Tyrell can make it beyond round 4, 5, 6. Then his chances of winning that fight increase even more if he can keep his foot on the gas. But if he slows down, you got to understand, Deontay Wilder has been in 12-round fights on several occasions. So he can go the distance. I just feel with Malik Scott training Wilder hasn't looked the same. And there are some people saying, oh, so this guy, Tyrell Herndon, he's just a nobody's hood. You're just giving him a chance. No, listen. What I'm saying is Wilder should be the favorite. But Herndon has an opportunity here. Wilder is not that killer that we thought he was, or that we knew him to be. He's not that anymore. Right now, it's just a matter of us thinking he can still do it, but he hasn't shown that he can. He has issues in his personal life, right? We all know about the stuff that's been floating around out here on social media. So it is what it is. I ain't gonna get into that. I'm talking about Wilder now. Professionally, he's had a lot of downs, not many ups at all. He's coming off of being inactive. He's coming off of an injury. And then you're going to walk into a fight with a guy who, like Wilder, he's come from an athletic background, got into boxing later, and he unlike Wilder, he has an opportunity that's going to springboard him to probably a fight for millions of dollars and could land him out there fighting in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. And that's what I think Wilder essentially, ultimately is trying to get back to. So I don't know what happened with the previous opponent Wilder was scheduled to fight and why they ended up going with Herndon. All I can tell you is, if in fact this is a cherry pick to help boost Wilder's confidence, to get him a big knockout, to get his fans back on board, and to help catapult him back on the stage out there in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, I think this could be a cherry pick gone wrong. I watched Wilder when he fought Zhang. I watched him when he fought Parker. And you can say what you want. There was a time when Wilder had a very deadly jab. One fight that comes to mind when he fought Bermane Stiverne. Wilder even was able to throw check hooks. I was watching him against Luis Ortiz, watching him against Gerald Washington. Wilder was doing a lot of things beyond the basic fundamentals of boxing, and he was doing them fairly well. But I feel you had to attribute all of that to Mark Breland. Since Malik Scott's taken over, Wilder hasn't been able to show that. Now, of course, you could say it's because of his level of opposition. And as a result, him fighting a guy like Tyrell Herndon, well, that means that Deontay Wilder is going to have to worry about the big shots and boxing ability and IQ and counterpunching skills of Parker, the super heavy hands, southpaw style, and freakish power of Zhilei Zhang. Okay, I hear you. And that is somewhat of a fair argument. But at the same time, Wilder isn't the same person. Tyrell's in a position where he has someone like Wilder, who Fury had taken a pound of flesh out of Wilder. Doesn't matter what we think about the Fury-Wilder fight. Fury took a pound of flesh out of Wilder in that second fight and that third fight. Okay? When Wilder fought Helenius, I saw something. Wilder came in there with all the confidence in the world, but then he got hit with some shit in that first round. And watch Wilder's facial expression when he got hit. Then Wilder got on the back foot. You see, if Wilder gets hit, I think he starts to relive some of that shit with Tyson Fury, and he will get on that back foot. You can say, yeah, well, he was on the back foot when he knocked out Helenius. Look, all I'll say is he did do that. But I'm also going to say he didn't look so confident when he got hit. When he went in there with Parker, he was on that ayahuasca, whatever. He was out there kumbaya. This man was just wanting to love everybody and wishing Anthony Joshua the best. And like all that Bronze Bomber bombs go out on, that shit was gone. That shit was gone. Got into with Parker, it's like he just wanted to hug and love him and just, sit back and chill and have a bromance. Got into with Zhang, was still, trying to convince himself that he's back. Wilder, even Eddie Hearn was hyping him up and talking him up, and he got in there and the 6-6, whatever competition they had, and it just wasn't able to do the things that we've seen Wilder do. But again, Zhang, you're talking about like, what, a 60, 70-pound difference in weight? It's crazy. But for Herndon, I just think he may have an opportunity here to catch a guy like Wilder who's just been through too much activity. He's too old now. And as a result, he made a bit enough more than he can chew. And Herndon just got to get in there and do the things that we know he can do. He can jab. He's got a big right hand. He got a nice a hook. He can go to the body. Got to work on bending his knees and getting under his shots, but I think he won't have any issue getting underneath the shots of Deontay Wilder. Because Wilder is not throwing those straight shots like he was throwing before. Everything is telegraphed. You can see it coming. Matter of fact, when he gets right to the right hand, he drops the left. When he throws the right hand, his feet come off the ground. He loses his balance. And Tyrell Herndon, he has his own flaws, but I just think, he has enough in the arsenal with the Deontay Wilder that we've seen in the last few fights for Herndon to shock the world. Can he do it? I don't know. But I do think there's a reason why they picked him. And I think that can go all downhill for Team Wilder if they underestimate Tyrell Herndon, man. I just think it goes all downhill. It's something I wanted to share with you guys, man. I'm pulling it up right now so I can share it with you. Crazy, man, to see just, where Deontay Wilder's career was and to kind of see where he is now. I just have a feeling that Tyrell Herndon is going to prove to be more of a Jermaine Franklin type AJ fight than a cherry pick that's going to be easy for Wilder. I think Wilder's going to find himself in maybe one of the toughest fights of his career because Tyrell's not going to come in there and just lay down. If Tyrell Herndon beats Deontay Wilder, it's not even about, in my opinion, and what I know about him from reading different articles, it's not even about winning the fight and going on and possibly ended up fighting a bigger name for a couple $1 million. It's not even about that. I think it's something for Herndon, a validation within himself that, you know what, I am good enough to compete at a very high level in boxing. I'm not a failure. I am a talented athlete. And any and everyone who's hated on me, I'm not going to say nothing. But there you go. You know what I'm saying? You take that, you process it, and do whatever you want to do with this win that I get over Wilder. And I'll tell you what, even if Herndon goes on, if he beats Wilder, he goes on to fight somebody after that. And even if he gets in a close fight or he loses or whatever happens, if he can come out here now and beat Wilder and then go on to the next fight and make a few $1 million, Tyrell Herndon's won. You know how many people work their whole life and can't even save up $100,000? And this man come out here, if he focuses in camp, he does everything the trainer says, and he comes in that ring and he has supreme confidence and he's smart and he starts fast. Can't start off slow. Keeps that foot on the pedal, steps to Wilder. I think Tyrell Herndon can really shock the world. You already know Deontay Wilder talks about how he doesn't need boxing, he doesn't need this. When you hear fighters talk like that, that's not good. And Wilder has spoken like that. And you have seen his performances in the ring. Haven't been that impressive. Outside the ring, whatever happened with him in his personal life, I hope Wilder's got that taken care of. I know he's got some beautiful children, and I wish him the best of luck. But from my understanding, Tyrell Herndon doesn't have those distractions. All he has to do is focus 100% on this fight and understand that he belongs in the ring with a guy like Wilder. And the magic can happen. But again, Wilder should be the favorite because he's proven himself over and over that he belongs at an elite level. It's just you look at Wilder and his last few performances. I mean, I don't see how anyone could sit here and expect Wilder to come and do something that we saw him do against Luis Ortiz, against Bermane Stiverne, against Chris Arreola, against Gerald Washington, against Dominic Brazil. We haven't seen him do that in a while, so I'm all about patterns. So to me, I can't expect him now after the last couple fights to see him do something do those things he did 7, 8 fights ago against a guy like Tyrell. I just don't see it. I see him continuing with the same pattern of getting in there, being off balance, being sloppy, maybe reluctant to let his hands go, and Tyrell Herndon come and just totally shock the world and be on to the next. But anyway, I like Wilder. I like Tyrell. You know what I'm saying? I just want to see a good fight. I don't think this goes the distance. Somebody's going to get knocked out. But I just think if it ends up going the distance, it's because Wilder just isn't really letting his hands go. And Tyrell is just, and he's on the back foot and moving a lot. For those of you saying, well, a fight like this shouldn't go the distance. If Tyrell's stepping to him and trying to get him, look, if Joseph Parker couldn't get him out of there, Tyrell's not going to get him out of there. Because Parker was trying to step to him, but he respected that power. But Wilder didn't let his hands go. So I think if Tyrell hits him with something and hurts him or he feels it, Wilder's going to get on his bicycle. And I know some of you say, man, damn, Hood Champion, you're going to come and take this guy Tyrell, because most of y'all don't even know who he is. And you're going to say, damn, you're thinking that he can have Wilder on his back foot? No. Tyson Fury has Wilder on his back foot. Zhang has Wilder on his back foot. Parker has Wilder on his back foot. When Wilder gets in there with Tyrell, if Tyrell hits him with something he feels, he's going to see Zhang. Wilder's going to see Parker. Wilder's going to see Fury. That's what he's going to see in front of him, because it's going to be something that he felt before that he didn't like in that ring, and bad things happen for him. Anyway, best of luck to both of them. Chance of a lifetime for Tyrell Herndon. And it's kind of crazy, right? Because I'll put it to you this way. I want them both to win. But I'm kind of rooting for Herndon because this is a true underdog story right here. The same way I used to root for Wilder. When Wilder came into boxing, nobody gave that man a chance. Came into boxing for his daughter. Still knew the price of milk. Came out here, ended up going to the Olympics not even 2 years later, winning a bronze medal, coming into boxing, did what he did. Absolutely amazing. Always rooted for that man. Always will. But now Wilder's kind of been there, done that. He's got everything he wanted in boxing. Life is good. That ship can sail. Box check. Herndon hasn't done that. So I'm kind of rooting for Herndon to come out here and prove all the naysayers wrong, get a big win, go on, make a few $1 million, and then sail off into the sunset. Box check. He's got to be able to validate himself and wake up every day, look at himself and say, I did that. And no matter where he goes, people can look at him and recognize him. But then he's right now, he's borderline a celebrity. When you start fighting guys like Wilder, people start recognizing you now. They start knowing your name. If he can clip him, he's out of here. Everyone's going to want to interview him. Everyone's going to want to interview him. He's going to be everywhere, getting invited to shit, and he'll probably be put on that Saudi card. I would like to see him go and fight a Wardley, a Tama, but he need to get some. If he fights Wilder and beats Wilder, that's the logical next step for him to go fight one of those guys. But what I'm saying is, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but it's possible. And I'm rooting for Tyrell. But he's got to step to Wilder. Wilder got that long reach. He can't let Wilder get his range. Can't let him measure you and then try to get that leverage on that right hand. Got to get beyond that shit. Close the gap. Make that fight ugly. Grab Wilder, trip Wilder, whatever you got to do. Make that fight physical. Like Maidana did Mayweather. Whatever you got to do to give yourself the best chance to win. You got to do it. Tyrell used to play football. God damn it, make him to tackle him. You know what I'm saying? Do whatever you got to do to get that win. Anyway, y'all keep cool. Good fight. Good opportunity for Tyrell. Great chance for Wilder to come out here, man. Get a victory. Get back in the winning column, and get people to start talking a little bit more positive about him. But I'll be honest with you. If Wilder loses to Herndon, Wilder's career is over. Herndon's career is rejuvenated. And I think it's a big opportunity in line for Herndon next. We already know what I think they want. They want AJ versus Wilder. That's what they want. But Herndon has an opportunity, man, to ruin those plans. Same way Parker ruined those plans. The same way Zhang came and ruined those plans. You know what I'm saying? Just got to seize the opportunity. Keep cool. I'm in the breeze.